At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Happy hump day to you all. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger from Weather NorCal, and I think Lisa Stevens sums it up well. Brr, can someone turn on the sun? Have a great day, all. Yeah, look at these temperatures out there right now. It's -8 degrees in El Tours. It's actually a colder start this morning than it was yesterday. And why, especially in the valley? Because the winds are calmer. You know, it seemed like it was a couple of days ago when the Weather Service issued for yesterday morning that freeze warning. I thought, no, it's not going to happen because we've got those winds blowing a little bit. And that's exactly what happened. And then this morning, yesterday, I was saying, hey, it's going to be colder. Winds are calmer. They never issued the freeze warning. Quite honestly, probably should have, right? Because these temperatures, upper 20s, low 30s, they have been for several hours and will be most likely even the next hour. But as the sun comes up, it will get a little bit warmer out there. Take a look at this. This is coming in from Jen saying Doris is looking at -9 degrees. I hope your thermostats work. And if they don't, be sure to call my friends over at Dennis's Heating and Air because they will take care of you and make sure that your heater works just right. Let's take a look right now at what else is going on out there. This is beautiful. These cold temperatures making for some ice on Lake Siskiyou, courtesy of Jolene. Thank you so much for sending in this photo. Of course, you can see Mount Shasta off in the distance. Just a gorgeous shot. Listen, I love these shots, right? Because I always say you can't take for granted where we live. I've lived here for over 25 years, and I still marvel in the beauty of this area. It's just gorgeous. So thank you, Jolene, for sharing that with us. Hey, if you want to share your storm photos or any beautiful photos in general, you can share them from the free Weather NorCal app. If you're dealing with snow, let me know your location, your elevation, and how much snow you have seen. So yeah, I mean, it is definitely a cold start to the day. Let's get to Krueger's Quick Cast, shall we? For those of you that are in a hurry and just want to know what to expect for today, well, here we go. Again, taking another look at those current temperatures because you can't see it enough, right? Pretty much everyone is at least freezing or below, with the exception of Crescent City right now, at about 33 degrees. Hey, this is kind of fun too. Take a look at this. We take a look at the elk country finally living up to its name. If you look in the upper left-hand corner of your screen there, you can see we actually do have, looks like some elk. How cool is that? I'm also want to see if I can get the Harbor District Cam going up here along the coast here because that's a gorgeous sight. Taking a look at that. The sunrise. You've got mainly clear skies out there this morning, but of course that will be changing here throughout the day today. All right, again, there's a look at those current temperatures out there right now. It's cold. Of course, now we're going to take a look at what you can expect as you're heading out the door this morning. If you don't have a garage, you're going to be scraping off those windshields no matter where you are, most likely. So just be aware of that. -1 at 8 o'clock this morning in parts of Modoc County. Yeah, below 0. All right, so here's what I'm tracking. We'll be talking about all of this in my deeper dive forecast here a little bit later. But we do have the flood potential, along with mudslides and debris flows with the approaching rainfall. But there's also going to be some low elevation snow. This is going to lead to chain controls, possible closure of I-5, and there's also going to be some gusty winds with this passing storm. And on top of that, maybe even some isolated thunderstorms. So let's talk about those winds. There's a wind advisory until Friday morning, but really the winds aren't going to really pick up until later this evening, tonight, and into tomorrow. There you can see the winds right now. Not that bad for most of us, although a little breezy looks down to the south. So let's take you through the afternoon. Here we are this afternoon. We've got some winds picking up for some of those mountain ridges, and even along the coast, but nothing terrible at this point, right? But then it really ramps up late tonight, early tomorrow morning. I think we can see gusts 30, even 40 miles per hour along the coast overnight tonight. Central Siskiyou County, that's going to be a bit of a concern around Shasta Valley on I-5, big rigs, right? That's the big problem there. Now you'll notice the winds will be strongest Thursday morning for the south end of the valley. Not as bad up to the north, but that'll probably change later in the afternoon. There you can see the flood watch until Friday night. That brighter shade of green, that box there between Red Bluff and Corning, that of course is Tehama Bridge at Sacramento River. A flood warning there. Of course, that's been the case here pretty much all week long. So let's take a look at Futurecast. Let's walk into the timing of today. You can see just increasing high clouds through midday, and then of course through the afternoon, more clouds moving in. By 5 o'clock, most of the rain still to our west, and then as we go into the evening and tonight, that's when the rain and snow kicks in. Could we see a rain-snow mix for parts of the valley? Yes, we'll get into that here a little bit later. Talk about that in more detail. There you can see the winter storm warning. This is in effect basically through Friday morning for the areas in pink there. All right, for those of you heading out to the ski park today or have plans to do that in the next couple of days, of course, it's looking great up there. We don't have to worry about the snow diminishing. In fact, there's more snow in the forecast out at the ski park. We could see upwards of over 2 feet of snow when you basically, most of it will be tonight and Thursday with a little bit of leftover snow flurries here and there for Friday. So the main event and most of the snow that you see here will be tonight and through the day tomorrow. So I think we could pick up 2, even 3 feet of snow, I think in some cases here around the Mount Shasta Ski Park. Now, as of right now, there are no chain requirements. That's obviously good news, but I think that will be changing. Let's take a look at the forecast road conditions through early tomorrow morning. Here's what we've got. Here you can see 10 o'clock as we go into tonight. We're starting to see the snow kick in. Probably not a ton of chain requirements at this point. However, Highway 36, possibly. Buckhorn Summit, Oregon Mountain, Berry Summit, yeah, possibly 299 west and even off towards the east. But then overnight, tomorrow morning, that's when we've got a lot of that frozen precipitation in there. And really, when you see the pink, the reds, that's most likely going to be in the form of snow. And of course, still chain requirements are a possibility. So as you're waking up tomorrow morning, be prepared for chain requirements, possible closure of I-5. It's just going to be a mess again. Hey, by the way, and I'm going to show you here from the website. It's a much better way to show you here. We're going to go into weathernorcal.com. And you can see here's weathernorcal.com. Scroll down here, click on road conditions, and then scroll down. You got a quick link there to QuickMap, by the way, from Caltrans. That's an awesome resource because that'll tell you where all the chain requirements are. But look at this. What I love about this is you can just look at each highway, and at a glance, you can see what the road conditions look like in any area that you might be going here in Northern California. So again, go to weathernorcal.com, scroll down, click on road conditions. And by the way, all of this is available from the free Weather NorCal app. And let me show you. I'm going to open up the app. Here's the app right here, right? Click on that. I'm going to open up the app. Oh, there we go. I'm going to scroll down. Road conditions. You're on your phone. You're a passenger in the car. You're like, I wonder what the road conditions are coming up ahead here. Simple enough. Boom. There they are. You can see all of the cameras there. I-5, Highway 89, 299 West and East, Highway 44. They're all right there from the free Weather NorCal app as well. So, great resource that I made for you. All right, let's go back to the map, shall we? Let's do that. And we're going to take a look at the high temperatures for today. All right, here's what it looks like for today. Temperatures low 50s for the valley, low 30s, low to mid 30s for the higher elevations, mid 40s for the low to mid 40s, that is for Trinity County, and low 50s for the coast. All right, let's take a look at your 7-day outlook. We're going to start off with the valley. Dry today, increasing high clouds, morning mix, possibly, even overnight tonight as well. But I think really by 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, a lot of that cold air is going to mix out and snow levels will start to rise through the morning on Thursday, and it's going to be in the form of rain. And of course, dry for Saturday, Sunday. You've got the chance for showers as well. All right, here's a look at your 7-day outlook for the coast, inland, and for Trinity County. You got Valentine's Day, you got President's Day, a lot of holidays on the 7-day forecast. That's always exciting. We can see the wet weather here for Thursday, Friday, break on Saturday, maybe a chance for showers. By the way, you see the showers there for Sunday, Monday. Don't count on much. It's not going to be all that impressive. For Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and the Eastern Mountains, there you go. Looking at that cold start to the day today, -6 in El Turris. Snow levels, starting off low with the approaching storm system, but they will rise through the day on Thursday and over 4,000 feet by Friday, Valentine's Day, and then up to 6,000 feet or higher on Sunday, and then maybe dropping a bit on President's Day. But again, keep in mind, Sunday, Monday, the rain and snow that we see those days, insignificant. It won't be that big of a deal and won't be all that impressive. Hey, let's take a look at some of the cameras out there. And you can see, looking out at the spillway at Lake Oroville, looks like, of course, as usual, and we've been hearing about that they're releasing a lot of water from the dams. Lake Oroville, North Forebay, with those calm winds. Thanks to those calm winds, we've got those very cold temperatures out there this morning. Of course, you can see that streamer there not really blowing in the wind because there isn't any wind. Main Street, Chico, Highway 32. Of course, you can see the clear skies there. The winds are not blowing. Highway 99 at Neal Road, calm winds. Looking very chilly out there this morning. Most likely those cars have their heaters on as they're heading out to work this morning. Sundial Bridge Drive on Highway 44. There you have it. All those cars probably have their heaters on as well. Just going to check in with a couple of you here this morning. We got a couple of people saying good morning. So let's say good morning to some of you. We have got Robert, who is saying, good morning from Old Shasta, Lower Springs, where the low was 28 degrees at 5 a.m. It's now 32. All right, you're seeing the temperature increase. That's always nice. We got Mary Max saying good morning. We got Ruth Sanchez saying good morning, everybody. Hope you have a safe day. And it's pretty cold out here, most likely. And we've got Curtis Brown. What's he got to say? Good morning, Mike and everyone. So glad you went rogue. Nowhere can we get coverage like this. Chat and learn something at the same time. You're the man. Well, you're the man too, Curtis Brown, because I appreciate your dedication, watching every morning, and of course, giving me all your information for the morning as well. Certainly appreciate that, and appreciate all of you that are watching. And if you're new to Weather NorCal, welcome. You got a lot to learn as far as where you can find information from me here, because you can find it on a website, weathernorcal.com. You can find it on the free Weather NorCal app, which I showed a little bit earlier. I've got a 24-hour streaming channel on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick. And by the way, I just learned if you have a smart TV with Roku on it, you can download the free Weather NorCal app there as well. We have got someone, one of our viewers, who is saying, traveling to Santa Cruz tomorrow. That'll be nice. They're going to get rain. You'll get rain tomorrow. You're going to get rain in Santa Cruz. Cindy Hughes saying good morning with snowflake. Yes, there will be snow, especially in those higher elevations. Absolutely. All right, thank you all so much for checking in this morning. And what do you say we get to our deeper dive forecast? We got to mention our sponsor. Always got to mention our sponsors. Without them, Weather NorCal would not exist. Made possible by Wind River Resort and Casino. You can enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. Thanks again to Wind River. Couldn't do it without our sponsors. All right, let's take another look at those temperatures this morning. Ooh, man. Again, this is something I was talking about yesterday. The winds were blowing a little bit in some areas for the valley, and that kept those temperatures mid to even upper 30s. You look outside now, winds are not blowing. at least in most cases. And that's why we're in the upper 20s, low 30s. Most of us in the valley are at least freezing, if not below that. And that's going to mean widespread frost across the region. Even if it's 34, even though it would be above freezing, you can still see that frost. All right, so there you can see in the mountains, much colder, and this is where we typically see the colder temperatures. North and east of the valley. Look at Alturas down to -8 this morning. All right, you can see 9 degrees for Susanville, Quincy about 18. Even the coast, it's very cold. Low 30s there, just barely above the freezing point. I mean, look at this map. Every single place is at least freezing or below, with the exception of Crescent City. All right, here's a look at your Coffee with Krueger. The headlines, we've got rain and snow, which returns tonight and Thursday. We've got low elevation snow, which will start. So when we start the rain, the precipitation, the snow levels will be fairly low. And then they'll be rising through really the morning hours tomorrow and then through the day. Cool and unsettled going into the weekend. It looks like a drier pattern for next week. But that doesn't mean it'll be completely dry next week. I just don't expect a lot of rain for next week. Now take a look at this. If you look, you see here's the area of low pressure. This is going to be the source. This is what's going to help to kind of squeeze out a lot of the moisture that we see with this approaching storm system. Colder air is already in place over Northern California. This is a colder storm system. So the combination of the colder air in place, cold storm system, is going to tap into this right here, the next atmospheric river. This source of moisture is coming all the way from the Western Pacific. Western Pacific all the way to the Eastern Pacific. So you've got all of these ingredients coming into play. That's going to give us the low snow levels. It's going to give us heavy rainfall. It's going to give us a lot of rain and heavy snow in the mountains. Remember what I was talking about? Look at this. This is the Western Pacific that you're looking at. Look at that moisture stream all the way up here. Now, it's not here just yet. That's why we're not seeing the rain. That's why we're not seeing much in the way of cloud cover. But you can see what's going to happen is as this area of low pressure moves to the east, we see this trough dig to the south. What that will do is kind of, in a sense, cut off from that main flow off over the Western Pacific. However, we've got that moisture coming right on in. Now, this is not the healthiest band of moisture that we've seen here hit Northern California, but you can see it's mainly aimed at Central California by midnight tonight, but you can see it kind of spreads all along the coast here. So this area of low pressure is going to be tapping into that warm subtropical air, and that's going to be the source of moisture that we see here for tonight and tomorrow morning. But then as that low pressure shifts to the east, it will push that atmospheric river down to the south. We've got to watch this because this could be impacting our weather as we go into the weekend and next week. So here's the overall setup. The area of low pressure is right here. You've got the stream of moisture right here, right? There's that atmospheric river. Watch it all come into play. Look at that. I mean, you start to light up with the rain. We see the snow in the mountains. And again, that low elevation snow. We're going to talk about and look in much more detail what it's going to look like as far as the potential for snow wherever you may be and how long that chance for snow will last. But this is the overall setup tomorrow morning. And then as that colder air moves off to the east and the storm system moves to the east, we start to mix out a lot of that colder air. And then Friday, some leftover showers, snow in the mountains. We're dry for Saturday. And then we've got a couple of weak systems passing to our north Sunday, Monday, even Tuesday of next week. And that could bring us a potential for maybe a few showers, maybe even next Wednesday as well. But you can see here, nothing significant after what we see here for tomorrow. All right, remember last week when we were trying to figure out if it was going to snow in the valley, and yes, we did see that mix, but other than West Red Bluff, there wasn't much in the way of accumulation in the valley. I was showing you two different forecast models. Now, here's the thing. As we look at these models, I'm seeing a lot of similarities as far as how aggressive each of these models is when it comes to the snow in the valley. And here's what I'm talking about. This is Futurecast. This is looking at the in-house forecast model here at Weather NorCal, okay? So let's take you through time here. There are the high clouds moving on in. There's noon, high clouds. No rain, just cold still. Here it is, 5 p.m. Wednesday, most of the rain off to our west, hitting the coast. Once again, we're not seeing much in the way of rain at this point, or snow. Now it starts to fill in by 10 o'clock tonight. So in the evening and overnight hours, we start to see it begin to pick up. Now look at Hayfork, look at Weaverville, most likely in the form of snow. We do have snow close to the valley, but no snow based on this particular forecast model. But heavy rainfall, especially down into Humboldt County, not so much in Del Norte County, and not a lot going on here tonight yet for eastern Siskiyou, Modoc County, and northeastern Lassen. But then we go into the overnight. Here's 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. Most of you be asleep. This is about the time I'll be waking up, and this is what we'll be looking at, a general idea. You see that? This is what we saw last week. We saw these little tongues kind of coming out from, I guess it's probably a better term for that, but you see these little areas kind of pushing out. This is what we saw last week. Now again, it's not in the valley per se, but it's very close. Now Bernie, Mount Shasta, Hayfork, Weaverville, most likely in the form of snow at 2 a.m. And of course everywhere else, right? Looking at that snow, of course the rain along the coast. Now, here's 6 a.m. A couple of things to take note. Number one, we're seeing it kind of breaking apart. You see how we're not seeing as much rain here, but still that leftover, that moisture is still really producing a heavy snow off to the north and east, off to the north into Siskiyou County and the eastern mountains, but it's breaking apart elsewhere. But this is also when we start to see the colder air begin to mix out. So remember I was talking about the colder air is in place right now. Here it is, it's at the surface. The warmer air rides over that colder air. We start off with the low snow levels, and that's what we're dealing with here early tomorrow morning. But as I mentioned, it'll start to mix out. Snow levels will start to rise as early as of around 6 o'clock in the morning, give or take. Then we have another band of moisture coming in. Warmer air is now in place. Snow levels now closer to 3,000 to 4,000 feet. You can see Highway 299 will see less in the way of snow and more of a way of rain. So any accumulating snow you see in these lower mountain communities, it will turn over to rain, and that snow will then melt. There you can see even Mount Shasta at noon having a hard time seeing some of that, Mount Shasta City. Bernie, most likely in the form of rain at this point. So again, we're seeing a lot more rain than we are snow on the map here. And that's the case going through the rest of the day on Thursday, 3,000 to 4,000 foot snow levels. And by the way, you see this? I mean, we're seeing the potential for thunderstorms developing in parts of the valley and even parts of the coast as well. All right, so we take you through time. We're starting to see the storm system push to the east. Now, we're beginning to see more snow in the mountains. We may see the snow levels drop a little bit here as that main storm system, that colder air, kind of pushes eastward. So I think Mount Shasta, again, maybe a little bit of snow Friday morning, maybe Hayfork, Weaverville, maybe a little bit of snow, Bernie, a little bit of snow, Susanville as well. But then as we go into Friday afternoon, look what's happening. It just all starts to kind of diminish. Now, again, there's some leftover activity for some of you, but we're starting to see it begin to dry out. And then it'll be dry on Saturday with maybe another chance for showers on Sunday. All right, so you saw how the forecast model we were just looking at did not show snow in the valley. Let's take a look at a different forecast model. This is called the HRRR forecast. It updates every hour, so honestly, I'll be looking at it with fresh eyes with you as well. We'll kind of take a look at what's going on. 6 p.m., there's the rain beginning to move in, same timing. All right, so here we are. This is midnight tonight. There's snow in the mountains. Now notice the snow with this particular forecast model a little bit more aggressive on how low that snow level will be. But once again, you'll notice it's not right there in the valley just yet, but again, it's closer. Kind of that same little area that we saw right there in our in-house forecast model. So I think they're both in pretty good alignment here. This one's just a little bit more aggressive. But last week, this same forecast model was just as aggressive, but still not 100% in the valley at this point. And what did we end up seeing? That rain-snow mix. So this is why I would be led to believe that most likely the best time for a rain-snow mix in the valley, and now look at this. I'm going to stop this because again, this is new and fresh, and I want to see if I can stop it at a different point. Don't mind my back here. Let's go here. Okay, look at that. And I'm going to zoom it in here a little bit tighter. Look at this. Look at this. This is 3 a.m. on Thursday. Now it's showing mainly snow for the city of Shasta Lake, Redding, and just north and west of Anderson. So again, a mix, possibly, right? Maybe even all snow Thursday morning, possibly, based on this model. Again, the model we were looking at just before didn't have snow over Redding at all. So again, we're kind of looking at that. And last week, it didn't do this either. So it's getting a little bit more aggressive with this potential for snow. Let's advance this through time. Let's get this going here at least. All right, but you see what's happening? You see how we're starting to see that snow move out of Redding? Why is that? That's what I was talking about. Eventually, going through some time, really in the early morning hours, we're going to start to see that colder air mix out slowly. And as it does that, we start to see smaller and smaller chances for snow in Redding. So that's kind of what I'm seeing at this point. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Let's go back. Oh, I know what happened. Now that I did that. Oops. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I love it. I love it when I'm live and I'm like kind of getting into this panic mode, if you will. And you're like, you just push buttons and you're not really thinking clearly. All right. So we took a look at all that. All right. So that was the focus. Where is it going to snow? How low are those snow levels going to get? And that's kind of what we were focusing a bit on. But we got to focus on other things too, because look at this. I talked about this a little bit earlier. I touched on this, the potential for thunderstorms tomorrow for the areas in green here. I think the best chances would be in the valley and even along the coast. The amount of rainfall, here you go. Through 5 p.m. Friday, most of it is going to fall tonight and tomorrow. I think over an inch of rain for the valley, more than that even for parts of the coast, and less off to the north and east. And of course, a lot of this is going to be in the form of snow, so you're going to melt it down. There you can see the winter storm warning. Yesterday, this was a winter storm watch. This is through Friday morning. These are numbers that I kind of adjusted myself. Here's what I would anticipate. Now, these numbers you see, Weaverville, Hayfork, this might be overdoing it. I may have overdone it there. But what I'll say is this. You could see some accumulating snow tonight and early tomorrow morning. Once it transitions over to rain, that snow will melt. Same thing for Etna, same thing for Wairika, same thing for Bernie. I mean, that looks pretty impressive, right? But once it transitions over to rain tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, a lot of that's going to melt. Same thing for Shingletown, Chester. I think you're going to be high enough that I think it'll be mainly snow through a good portion of the morning tomorrow. And you could be looking at 8 to maybe even upwards of a foot of snow out towards El Turis, 1 to 2 inches, and Susanville, 4 to 8. So again, some of these lower mountain communities that are seeing snow, yeah, you might see some accumulating snow, but it won't last for very long because then eventually the rain will be on top of that. Here's your forecast snow totals out at the ski park. We already saw a ton of snow last week. How about more snow? We could see over 2 feet of snow for the base and even the summit of the ski park. But with this snow comes, of course, the headaches of travel delays, chain requirements, possible closure on I-5. Tonight, not so much. We're seeing on Highway 36, maybe around Buckhorn Summit, Scott Mountain, some parts of western Highway 299 could see, possibly, like I say, around Buckhorn Summit. Not as much to the north or east, but we are seeing the potential for some chain requirements developing there. Look at overnight into tomorrow morning. This is when it really starts to kind of blow up here, right? You're seeing kind of the frozen precipitation. So when you're seeing these colors right here, that's basically snow right here, all of this. That I took the green out because we're not really focusing on where the rain is, we just want to focus on where the snow is. So that's what we're seeing here, right? So that's what we're looking at. So tomorrow morning, late tonight, tomorrow morning, don't be surprised if you wake up and there are chain requirements on I-5. Chain requirements west and east of I-5. It could be a pretty big mess. Again, quick reminder for those of you that do need to travel, you can go to the website. I made a great page for you. Go to road conditions. From there, you can at a quick glance take a look at all the different highway conditions, and I've taken the more popular cameras from Caltrans, and you can see where it's snowing and where it's not snowing. You can also get a quick link to Quick Map from Caltrans to check out the latest road conditions. And by the way, all of this, yes, it's on the website, weathernorcal.com, but you can also find this from the free Weather NorCal app. It's just an awesome resource. I love it. Again, you can be traveling in your car, passenger, and you can go to the app, click on road conditions, and you can see cameras of where you're going to see what it looks like. And of course, see where the chain requirements are. All right, let's switch gears now. Let's talk about the winds. We got a wind advisory for the Valley, Central Siskiyou County, Del Norte, and Modoc counties. But the thing is, the winds aren't necessarily going to be a problem until tonight and tomorrow morning. Here you can see 5 p.m. the wind's starting to pick up to the north and west, but not that bad. Overnight, I think we can see gusts 30 to even 40 miles per hour along the coast. Same situation for Central Siskiyou County. The Valley, it's getting breezy, but not terribly strong right at this point, and then gusty off to the east. We go into Thursday morning, still gusty along the coast, Central Siskiyou County, especially the south end of the valley, seeing some strong winds, and also to the east. They really pick up, though, as we go through the afternoon on Thursday for everyone in the valley. Over 30 miles per hour is a possibility. Winds still strong, just not as strong for the coast, and some gusty winds off to the east. For Friday morning, the winds are starting to subside here, and I do expect weaker winds as we go into Friday afternoon. So again, that wind advisory I was talking about is through Friday morning. Switching gears again, back to the rain. Flash flood risk for the areas in green here. We have a flood watch until Friday night for all of the areas in green here. So a lot of the areas that saw flooding last week, I think many of them could see, maybe not as bad, but could see some more flooding. I think a lot of the creeks and streams will start to swell up, probably go over the banks. Sacramento River, yeah, I mean, here you can see still at Tehama Bridge, we've still got issues there. And there's a flood warning that's continuing in that area. We take a look at the Sacramento River Tehama Bridge. It's above the flood stage. With the rains coming in, it's going even higher, and then eventually, hopefully, dropping below that flood stage by Saturday morning. Here you can see Sacramento River at Vinyl-Whitson Bridge. We're below flood stage now, but with the approaching rain, possibly getting above the flood stage, and then by Saturday morning, it drops. So just be on the lookout for that. And looking at the lake levels, yeah, we're still seeing them drop. About 3-foot drop here in the last 24 hours for Lake Shasta, but still very good on its capacity at 86%. Trinity 83, as well as Lake Oroville, Lake Oroville. All right, Lake Oroville Lake, Lake Shasta, Shasta Lake. Right, they're all lakes. Here you go. The wave heights through this evening. There you can see, of course, not going to be too terribly high, but they will be increasing as we go into tonight and through the day on Thursday. Most likely seeing a small correct advisory tomorrow, maybe even a hazardous seas warning. Here you can see, of course, the winds today. South winds at 10 to 15 knots. No advisories, but as I mentioned, by tonight that may change. Okay, here's what we have for your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. All right, so we're kind of taking a look at where the rain and snow is. I think we'll see a break Saturday. Anything we see after that, as far as the way of precipitation, whether it's rain or snow, will not be impressive at all. These are weak disturbances clipping Northern California, and I've got the chance of rain in there and snow in the mountains, but it's not going to amount to much. Let's take it to the south. Again, that's the story for everybody. So when you look at the 7-day forecast, just kind of bear that in mind when you see that on Sunday, Monday. In the meantime, of course, we're looking at those temperatures in the 40s for most of us in Trinity County, and for the North Coast, temperatures in the low 50s. 51 for Honeydew, 50 out in Shelter Cove. 54 degrees for a high today in Ferndale, 53 for Hydesville and Rio Dell, about 52 degrees. Up north, 55 degrees in Blue Lake, 50 in Hoopa and Willow Creek, and Trinidad, about 53 degrees, and even farther to the north. You've got 53 out towards Smith River, 47 in Gas Key, and Orleans, a high of about 48 degrees. Taking a look at your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, should be in the low 40s along Highway 96, but look at these oh man, it's cold. Only reaching the upper 20s for your daytime highs. And then, of course, it's not going to warm up a whole lot in the next couple of days. You can see for Scott Valley, you're looking at temperatures in the mid-30s. Now, again, as that warmer subtropical air moves in, yes, we're getting into the low 40s, but still on the cool side, and we'll keep it in those 40s here for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast for central and eastern Siskiyou County, temperatures around 37 for Mount Shasta City and McLeod, 38 in Dunsmuir. Let's take a look at your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. 32 degrees for Newell, 33 for Alturas. Yes, another cold day. Now, taking a look at the eastern mountains here. Now, Bernie, I think you'll see snow tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, it's rain. I think for Friday, you'll be in the form of rain. Same thing for Sunday and possibly on Monday as well. Snow level is getting a little bit lower by Monday, but still, Bernie is most of the snow that you see here in the next 7 days will be tonight and tomorrow morning. Taking a look at Chester, there you can see looking at the dry conditions on Saturday and Tuesday. Temperatures today around the lake will be upper 30s to around 40. Let's take you down to the South Paradise. You'll see maybe a mix tomorrow morning, late tonight. Otherwise, scattered showers for your Friday, scattered showers for Sunday, Monday, and then dry for next Tuesday. Here's your Valley Neighborhood Forecast brought to you by Walgamith Painting. Your temperatures will be in the low 50s for your daytime highs. And of course, looking at those dry conditions just to the increasing clouds today. So Chico, I don't expect a mix for you. It's be in the form of rain. Showers on Friday, dry Saturday, and a slight chance for some light showers. Passing showers here and there. Just cool and unsettled really is what we expect here for Sunday into early next week. Let's take you up to the north. City of Shasta Lake about 51, 48 for Whiskeytown, Lakehead about 49, and Cottonwood about 53 degrees. All right, here's your 7-day forecast for Redding. There's that morning mix, late night and early morning mix. Possible just snowflakes at some point in time, early tomorrow morning. Most of you will be asleep. Maybe set the alarm. Maybe if you're that excited about it and want to see it, you can. I'll be up. I'll be checking it closely. You can bet that's for sure. Valentine's Day, there's a chance for some more scattered showers. And then Saturday is dry. Sunday, Monday, just a chance for a passing shower or sprinkle for your President's Day. And then dry by the time we get into your Tuesday of next week with a high of about 63 degrees. That is a big one. This is one of those forecasts where it's just kind of go, go, go. You got so many things you're talking about. You're talking about rain, you're talking about wind, you're talking about snow, you're talking about thunderstorms. What else am I talking about? I don't know. Talking about other things. I'm talking about the fact that I need to shave. All kinds of things. How's everybody else doing? Let's check in with some of you this morning here. We got more people kind of checking in too while I was up at the weather wall and kind of checking in with the latest on the forecast. Let's see what some of you are saying here. 3 degrees north of Weed. Oh man. I mean, let's just, wow. We've got Jim saying, okay, let's bring on the sunshine. Well, we got the sunshine today. Then the clouds come in, then more sunshine coming in probably around Friday. But thank you for checking in, Jim, here. A little fog on the coast this morning, but it's clearing into cold, clear sunrise. I was actually just looking at the sunset camera, at least in Crescent City. And that's what you're looking at there, at least in Crescent City. We're actually, not too long ago I showed you this image and it was just high clouds. Now we've got some mid-level clouds kind of coming on here. And so we're already beginning to feel signs and see signs of that storm system as it approaches. You can also, we can't really see the sky conditions here, but we can see the elk out in elk country here north of Trinidad. The camera, I don't know, I haven't done this in a while, so I don't think I'm going to mess with it on the air here. But the camera looks like it kind of readjusted and reset, and of course it brought the camera down. I can bring that camera back up, but I didn't get a chance to do that this morning, but you can see the elk in there. Gotta love that. Every once in a while, during Coffee with Krueger, we can see the elk out at elk country at that red schoolhouse, and that's always fun. If you've ever stayed there, that big open field, that's always fun when you wake up in the morning and you just look out your window and boom, they're just everywhere. So much fun to see all of those animals. All right, let's see what else we got going on out there. We got Lynn Jones saying, on average, what will March look like in terms of rain, snow for the Redding area? I always count on your forecast to plan my week. Well, Lynn, as you know, and I've always said this before, I'm not a fan of even predicting out past 2, even 3 weeks, because it's always going to be wrong. And, maybe that shot in the dark, it could be right. But typically we do see wet conditions in March. Snow, we'll see. It's, we've seen snow in March before. That's not out of the question. But to sit here right now, before we're even in the middle of, well, we're kind of in the middle of February, to say, oh, it's going to snow in March, I couldn't tell you that much right now. But it's not out of the question. But, historically speaking, we typically do see wet weather in the month of March. David Hoffman is saying, good morning, Mike. I'll be prepared. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you're prepared. Everyone needs to be prepared. Of course, I know you drive a big rig, right, David? So hopefully you'll be okay out there and ready for delays in the works and That's no fun. I certainly don't envy you at this point in time, but you know, you got to make that living, right? What do you say we wrap things up here this morning and call it a morning and call it a Wednesday? It's not Thursday yet. Thursday is when we're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff here. But we're going to leave you with some cameras and see what it looks like out there across parts of Northern California. In the meantime, have yourselves a great Wednesday. Be sure to keep checking in here at Weather NorCal. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. We'll be singing a bit of a different tune, won't we? We'll be in the midst of that rain and snow coming on in. We could be talking about even, you know, by the time Coffee with Krueger's on at 7 a.m. still, maybe some snow, but at that point, most of it will most likely have been to the north. We'll see. Timing can change even as we get this close in time frames here. So, 0 degrees in Lake Chastina north of Weed. Ooh, thank you, Melissa, for your update. Let's put that up here for you so everyone can see, and I'm just not reading it here. 0, yes, in Lake Chastina north of Weed. Oof, man, oh man. Thank you all for your reports. It's always nice to know how cold it is wherever you may be or what's ever going on with the weather for you as well. So again, keep checking in weathernorcal.com, free Weather NorCal app, the 24-hour streaming channel on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, and anywhere YouTube is available. You can, of course, always subscribe to that YouTube channel as well. That is also a big help. So if you watch on YouTube frequently but haven't subscribed to the channel, do me a favor and just subscribe to it. Again, that does help in the overall viewership on that as well. All right, that is going to do it for us this morning. We're going to take a look at some cameras and leave you with some cameras out there. This is looking at Elk Country, north of Trinidad. Leave you with this and other cameras. In the meantime, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.